hope somebody will join me at this time. We can talk about anything. If anybody, let's see if anybody comes around first. I'm waiting for anybody to show up, and we can talk about anything. For instance, we can talk about vaccines. As vaccines is the topic of today's in the news about some don't want to get vaccinated and don't believe in vaccines. And I don't know. I'd like to know what's your input about that. You know, vaccines I think are very important. You know, uh, when we had COVID, we had that pandemic, COVID. We vaccinated against it, and we did pretty good once the vaccine was out. I'm pretty sure everybody. I don't. Yeah, I guess there were a few people that didn't get vaccinated. Not that many. Majority of Americans did get vaccinated. During that time we were losing so many people anyway. People were dying. Hi everyone. How are you? Um, anyway, so yeah, vaccines are very, very important. I think. You know, um, we have the flu shot that usually is recommended somewhere around, uh, the end of October. If you are in the medical field, they expect you to vaccinate against the flu. I don't think there's anybody in the medical field that can not, can go without it. They'll make you. They'll make you get vaccinated, and if you don't, you lose your job. In the medical field, you have to. There's no if and buts, but you have to vaccinate against the flu, uh, measles, or any other, the any other vaccines that are required in order for you to perform in the, with the community, with the people with the patients that are sick. So they expect you to vaccinate really in the medical field. As a nurse, um, I had to, there were few of my coworkers that didn't want to get, didn't want to get the flu shot, and some of them lost their jobs. You have to. I don't see why, if you are in the medical field, you just have to comply with the vaccines, especially the flu. Do you know how easily you get sick in the winter, when you on the floor and, tending patients? Patients come in sick, very sick. They don't, and then you're vulnerable. As a nurse, you're vulnerable getting ill because you have a family. You come home to a family. If you're a grandma, you have grandkids, so you have to be very careful, and you have to protect your family really. So it's very important to to get vaccinated against the flu. I do recommend that. Usually, it's October is coming, and towards the end of October, November, you should have gotten the flu vaccine, and very important to have that done. But there are issues right now where people are not really believing in vaccines. There are mothers out there that do not want the kids to get vaccinated. There's so many diseases that you can acquire. Measles, for instance, it could be one that a kid could get, a young kid, and the mumps. That's a horrible disease. I think your neck gets really inflamed, and it's hard to swallow if you get the mumps. That disease, that's really not a good one. Um, the polio vaccine. That's I remember when I was growing up, I remember seeing young girls that have gotten polio, and they were walking with brace, and the legs were like kind of loose. Their lower extremity, all the legs, they were so flaccid, and it was hard for them to walk with those braces. They were like steel. So I think, hi, cute. Oh, that's so cute. That's, I like your name. Say hi. No, hi, Jonathan, Clarence. I'm discussing, I'm talking about vaccines, how important the vaccines are. As a nurse, I really implore, my people to take vaccines. Okay, cute. Have a nice day. So Jonathan, so what about you? What do you think about? What's your intake about or input about vaccines? Do you think, how do you feel about them? Especially now, during this time, the flu vaccine right now, it's being offered, by by your doctors right now, or you could really go to a pharmacy. A pharmacy can do that. You can make an appointment with your local pharmacy, and they'll help you. They'll help you with all the vaccines that you need. Depending on your age, they'll accommodate you, and it's very easy, really. Now everybody has the technology of using how to use the telephone. You can go to your local pharmacy, and you are able to to do that. Oh yeah, hi, Jonathan. They don't like them in South Africa. No, I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Spanish though, which is kind of, um, Spanish. It sounds a little bit like Portuguese, right? I could switch very easily right now. I could say, "Hola, cómo está? ¿Cómo está, Clarence? Jonathan, ¿qué hay de nuevo?" Aquí estoy en Nueva York. La temperatura ahorita está como creo que está como los 78, y una tarde muy bonita. What I'm saying is that here in New York, the weather is about 78, out east, and the weather is really nice. That's what I said in Spanish. So, how does that? Clarence, were you able to translate that in Portuguese? Were you able to understand that? What I said? Bonda is hello. Oh, bon dia. Oh, buen dia. Yeah, sounds like buen dia. Like bon dia, that sounds like hola. Hello in Portuguese. Good day. In Spanish, bon dia, that sounds like buen dia. Buen dia. So yeah, talking, is slow. Exactly. Portuguese is beautiful. Do you know that I used to, Roberto Carlo? Oh my God, I love his music. Oh my God, Un gato en la oscuridad. Cuando era un chiquillo. Ay, me fascina esa canción. I don't know if that's your time, but my time was Roberto Carlo. I love the way he sings. I don't know any other Portuguese singer, but I'm pretty sure Portuguese is just a beautiful sound. I love the voice. Really? Oh my God, that's cool. I love to. I'm trying to pick up a guitar. I've been looking at guitars because I'm interested at this age to play the guitar. I think I would just play an acoustic guitar. That just to something that's not that expensive. So I've been looking at them. Just to play, I like the Spanish, how the Spanish guitar sounds. The Spaniard from Spain. Oh my God, that's really nice. But yes, going back, Roberto Carlo. Oh my God, Julio Iglesias. Oh my God, I love Roberto Carlo. I play that a lot in my when I'm cooking. I just love his music. Amada Amante. I don't know. Do you know any of his music? Amada Amante. Muy bonita la canción esa. Ese amor tú me has dado. Amor que no esperado es aquel que yo soñé. Interesting that I'm singing. I don't sing that good anyway, but es que tú, amada amante, das la vida en un instante sin saber lo que fue. Amada, amada amante. Do you know that? Do you know that one? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I want to get a second hand. I don't want to, like I said, yeah, it's just for, it's just like a hobby, something that I'm taking. Oh my God, how is that? How is in South Africa? The weather must be really nice right now, right? Must be cool. Have you ever been to America? Well, now it's kind of hard, it's not easy right now. But have you been outside of South Africa? Oh, really? It's raining over there. Oh, we in spring. Right now, we are in the end of summer. Summer is ending over here, and it's sad because I have a garden. I have a beautiful garden, and I don't know if you have, if you go on my channel, I have you can see my garden and through the years, and right this year I have a lot of different plants. I had coleus, which is beautiful. Anyway, so it's sad that everything is dying. All my flowers are dying, so it's not a good, I don't like I don't like the end of summer. Yeah, check it out. You'll see my I know, but I have friends in the UK. I have a lot of YouTube friends, and Facebook friends in the UK that I do communicate with. But I'm not much of a traveler. I've been to Mexico back in the 80s. I've been to Central America. The last time I was Central America, I was 1991. I haven't been back there. But Mexico, California, that's it. And right now, I don't think I would want to travel. I would want, it's pretty bad to travel right now. It's I don't think it's conducive. There's so much shit going on. Excuse my language. There's so much shit going on. To travel, it's not. They don't feel safe, really. There's so much bad things happening, really. Yeah, it's safe. Well, your mom is Indian, you said, right? In the United States, I live in New York, which is a melting pot. We have all kinds of ethnicities here. We have Italians, we have Indians, we have African, we have Latinos. It is a melting pot. Over here, you feel at home because they don't look at you. They don't look at you different. You are able to blend in because, like I said, New York is the best because over here we have different kind of ethnicities. People that are and nice, and you get along nicely. Whereas if you go away from New York, you go down in the south, it's a little different. People don't accept you as, because they probably have a different type of, they have a more white. In Florida they have northern Florida, they don't like New Yorkers much, but here in New York, if you ever come to New York, I know, do you know that what you're saying is true? In other countries, there's no discrimination. People don't see you. People see you as a human being. They don't see color. You don't see color. You just see a human being. That's how I grew up. I came here to the States when I was 5, and I'm from Central America, and I don't remember seeing a black person by the color. We didn't see that. We did not see. When I came to New York, as a 5-year-old kid, I, then I learned that you can see, people, not everybody, but, having gone to Florida, the treatment, seeing, you see, you start to, the people start to discriminate, but like I said, not here in New York. In New York, you'll be safe. If you ever visit America, come to New York, in New York. But like, I don't know, it's hard nowadays, Yeah, you know, is what did your father's what oh, he's Portuguese. Oh my God, it's a beautiful blend, Portuguese and Indian. Oh my God, you have the best of two worlds. It's true, Latin heritage, our heritage, Latino, is the most beautiful one. Our culture, we do respect. We have this respect for people, for our neighbors. We are taught we are taught to love and treat everybody the same way, and respect above all. To respect our elders too. You know what I mean? Our old in our family, the oldest is the one that has in charge, and is able to to take you to a direction, like a parent. If your parents are leave the oldest child in charge to take care of the kids, uh, you respect the older brother. You know what I mean? Not in here is totally, is not it's totally different. The respect it goes out the window. But it's interesting. Yeah. So tell your father hello. Do you play the guitar? Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Say hello to your mom. She must be really nice. There is this Indian lady on YouTube. She's so funny. I forgot her name, but you know, you you play the guitar. Oh my goodness, how's that nice? Do you teach? Do you teach the guitar? Do you teach how to play guitar also? So anyway, so what do you think about vaccines? Are you vaccinated? You believe in vaccines? I think vaccines are very important. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, I thought he was around, you know. Um, so he's not with you right now. That's sad. What happened? What went on? What went on? So it's just your mom? Oh, it says the team Europe won the golf. Oh my God, the COVID was really bad. As a nurse, I worked, and it was a really bad. It was a bad episode in my life. Um, we did the vaccines because you had to. As a nurse, you have to comply. Have to vaccine. And I would come home. My husband has asthma, so I had to be, which is a respiratory thing. So I had to be extremely careful when I came. When I used to take my clothes every day, I would come and take my uniform, put it in a bag, and go straight down and take a shower. That was everybody had to do that. But it was the COVID era. It was pandemic time. It was not a good thing. It was a pretty bad time. So many deaths. I saw so many people die. It was not. It was not a good. It was not a good part of my life as a nurse. The death rate was like happening every I would say every 5 minutes, people were dying, and I would come home. I live 5 minutes away from the hospital, and so I walk. So let me tell you, every afternoon I'll be walking and I'll be just crying. You know, it's I would come home and walk. It just, I couldn't help it. I would be crying walking home, literally crying. It was really a bad time, a bad time. It was not a good time in as an, around the world. It was happening here in America. In America, it was like, if you saw it all, you saw, it was, it was, it was, we had the truck, the morgue truck right outside parked, like about 3 trucks. We were just putting, we just, bringing them out. Every 5 minutes you will hear over the PA system, over the speakers, you will hear a death announced, or code blue. It was gut wrenching, an episode in my life that I'll never forget how bad it was. The COVID era, the pandemic. The pandemic was so sad. Patients would pass through me, and I'd be taking them down to the morgue, or it was an awful scene. As a nurse, it was not a nice, it was not a good thing. It was not a good thing to experience anybody. I mean, I'm pretty sure you saw people. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, so, right. So look what happened. A vaccine was invented, right? Correct? A vaccine was invented, and a lot of people took it. And slowly brought us back to normalcy. When we got vaccinated, and then we had to take a booster, and then a second booster. And a lot of people did well. A lot of people really did very good with the vaccine. It was really, an amazing thing so praise the Lord for that. So yes, vaccines are very important. Vaccines are very, very important in our life. And I don't understand why is it that this generation is against it. It's against the vaccines. It's against vaccinating the kids. I know people that parents that are not vaccinating the kids at all. And they're gonna have a homeschool, because if you go to public school or private school, the kids have to be vaccinated. So yes, vaccines are. Who wants not to have polio? Polio was eradicated. Measles were eradicated, but it's coming back. The kids are dying with measles now, from what I understand. So it's not a good thing that's going on. Why is it? It all has to do how you get brainwashed. If somebody tells you with faith, here, if I give you, if you have a headache, and if you have, I'll give you a pill, it will take you, will take your pain away, and you believe it. And if somebody tells you the contrary, the opposite, it tells you that no, take that, it's not good for you, then you will take it. You forcefully will think that no, it's not good for me, so I won't take it. And people get brainwashed, which I don't think is a good idea. What do you think? Right? I mean, and to become a doctor, it takes so many years too. To become there's a lot of studies that go into becoming a doctor. Yeah, doctor, you consider like you trust a doctor, because not only did he go to strenuous studies years, they also had to take residence. They had to also go through the what do you call, the learning procedures, in the emergency room. They go and and get trained to learn how to deal with a lot of health issues that are happening. And so this, besides the studying, they do take the training for many years. I think it's 5 or 6 years, or maybe more. So yes, you trust your doctor. Your doctor is someone that is the one that tells you, examines you, and tells you and cures you. And so you have to have faith in him. But nowadays there's so much crap happening, that oh, okay, good. That's good. So they took the, but you do believe vaccines, that, which is good. I mean, like, besides the vaccine, there's some other things, like you have to know, for instance, you have to make sure what your numbers, what your what's the word, the biochem, the what is it, the chemistry. In other words, you want to know what your readings are. Like, you would like it's good for you to go to the doctor and have a physical every year, so exactly what's going on with you, what your chemistry, blood chemistry readings are. You want to know the numbers, where you're standing at. Oh, that's good. That's great. How old are your kids? Oh, you have 3 kids, 3 months and a year. Oh, so that's good. That's good. You have your hands full. You have, God bless. They grow so fast. They really do. Kids grow very, very fast. So what were we talking about? Oh, they have nice name. I like one. There's a singer. There's a Latin singer. One. I forgot the name. One. What is it? What, I forgot. There's Yeah, talking about the vaccines. So there are other things. I was just saying to you. How about like wanting to know what your blood chemistry is like? It's highly recommended to go to your doctor every year to have your physical done, so they can test your blood and see what's going on. Like, you want to know what your hemoglobin reading is. You want to know what levels of what is it called, HbA1c, your diabetes. You want to know what the reading of that is, how the whole chemistry in your body, your white blood cells, red blood cells, the numbers, so what's going on in your body. You don't want to find out that something is wrong with you. So it's I highly recommend to go to your physician, to your general physician, and have your blood work done. Very important, what I mean, and keep up the kids with the vaccines also, which is very, very important, because they're young, and they the immune system is not really what do you call it? Some of the kids, they don't gain full immunity until they are a little older and they're vaccinated. And if they go around, they socialize with other kids, and other kids have let's say, for instance, they have the mumps, and if your kid was not protected against it, he could get it. But if he did, then you wouldn't have to worry about it, because young kids, the kids and the elderly are very prone to get sick. And as an older person, you get you catch a cold from a young kid, and you're cold, and the older person that catches it's worse. Really, you don't have insurance. They don't have insurance, or you don't have national health. It's a private sector and public. Oh my God, that must be very bad. Jesus. There's no national health insurance where you guys can, that is, you have to pay for every visit, correct? Ooh, that's expensive, you know? Wow. Not here. Here in the United States, you have medical insurance. You pay. You pay certain amount, and you are able to go to the doctor, and the doctor gets his payment through gets reimbursed through the medical insurance. Not having medical insurance is shit. Let me, excuse my language. It's Yes, it is. Mom said the big chin. This is, yeah, it gets it gets swollen. The throat gets swollen, and it's very hard to swallow, and it's painful. So I'm pretty sure your kids were vaccinated with the mumps. Wow, $800 a month? That's a lot of money. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's in South Africa? Oh, nice talking to you. Nice talking. Check my channel. Give me a like. Give me a like. And enjoy. It was nice exchanging conversation with you. So yeah, as I was talking about vaccination, vaccines are very important. So people, if you're watching me, I urge you and recommend you to get your flu vaccine. Your flu vaccines is very important. The shingles vaccine, if you're a little older, is very important too, to get the shingles. If you get shingles, let me tell you, as a nurse, I have experienced patients that have shingles. They have shingles right on the neck, and it's really bad. It's not, it's not a good sight. It's very painful in the body. So I urge you to really take visit your pharmacy, and if depending on your age, they will let you know if So yeah, we're talking about vaccines, how easy it is to get vaccines. If you need the flu vaccine, the shingle vaccine, you can visit your local pharmacy and make an appointment. And if you have medical insurance, it's easy. You get the whole information on the, through the phone. You can make the appointment through the phone in your local pharmacy, or they'll help you. Also, there's they will definitely help you, and vaccines are very important. So if you're just joining me in, we are discussing vaccines, how the flu vaccine is important. You don't want to get sick in the winter. You don't want to get a bad cold. You don't want to get the flu, man. The flu is pretty bad. You don't want to catch that. The flu, it makes the whole body ache, and you can hardly, get up from the bed, and your whole body is like awfully, awfully painful and weak. You experience weakness, pain, and it's awful. You don't want to have the flu. The flu is, I've had the flu twice. So from experience, I can tell you that it was not a good feeling at all. It was terrible. It was painful. Your whole body feels like so weak. You can hardly get up from bed. And if you do get up, you feel dizzy, so weak. It makes you definitely very weak. So yeah, I expect you to follow. It's my recommendation as a nurse. I really recommend you to do that. I mean, it's a very good thing to do. So besides vaccines, we have, we had other things. If you are close to us in the 50s, Also, it's recommended to have done as a male, do the prostate test for cancer. Very important for males to have, you don't want to have prostate cancer. um, if you're a male, go to your doctor and have and have you checked. Very easy. Sometimes you postpone things. It's not good to postpone things. Don't live for today. What you can not live for tomorrow, what you can do today. So yes, I think that's very important to do. And like I said, I recommend you to visit your doctor and find out what is it that do your physical exam. Your physical exam is very, very important. You want to know what's going on in your body. What's your blood chemistry reads. That you want to know your if you're diabetic or close or in the middle or not diabetic. So yes, it's important to know what's going on in your body. You know what I mean? Don't be one of these smart ones that don't believe in doctors, and they just don't think it's a good thing to do. So yes, I urge you and recommend you to follow up with your doctor and find out how you're doing with your vaccines, how you doing with your blood chemistry, how you doing if you're female, make sure your gynecologist checks you, because you don't want to find out that you have something wrong with your ovaries or your uterus. And if you're a male, your prostate is very important to get it checked, because you don't want to find out, because you have not done it, you have not checked it. You don't want to find out that you have cancer and it's too late, and it's this stage 3 or 4, and that sucks. And all because neglect, because you did not, you left that, you procrastinated and did not go to your doctor and have, and it's so easy. It's so easy to get things out of the way. I know it takes, with this busy life that everybody has, it's hard to keep up with responsibilities and take care of yourself. If you're taking care of kids, if you're a mother or father or you're single parents, you have so many responsibilities to take care of. Like, it makes it very, very hard to people to take care of themselves, really, because there's so much to juggle, there's so much to do. It's not, and then if you don't have nobody to help you, if you don't have somebody in the family to help you with your kids, it's even hard. Doesn't make it easy for you or your partner. But again, it's very important that you take care of yourself and do not procrastinate, or put aside your health problems, or trying to put in order your body, what's going on with your body, your blood. No, you don't want to know that your readings are high or low. Sometimes we don't take into consideration that sometimes the body is talking to us. It's sometimes we feel dizzy, we'll feel shaky, and we just leave it alone. We don't think it's nothing wrong with us. You think that just a little shakiness doesn't mean anything, or if you're drinking water too much, you don't even think twice. Or if you're urinating too much, you don't think twice. unless 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 you feel like, oh, this is not correct, this is not right. So yes, then take care of it. Take care of these these issues, and don't procrastinate. Go to always visit your doctor for your general physical, yearly physical, which is very important. And so you can have good time in your life, and know what's going on is going on. I mean, we don't, a lot of people, they have so many things. There's so many things that are especially couples, married couples. They have so many things that are going on. They juggling so many things. I mean, bringing up kids is not easy. It's not an easy task. And if you don't have help from your family, your mother, especially if your mother's not helping you, it's hard. It's hard to take care of. It's hard to take care of a family, really. Um, you know, so you set aside the fact that you don't go to your doctors. You don't go and make an appointment to take care of yourself, to find out, to have your body checked, physical, to have a physical, uh, have your doctor do a physical, meaning that he'll check you, he'll check your blood chemistry, and he'll check all the things that you breathe, you know, and then when you get your blood work results, he calls you and tells you where you're standing, so you know. And that is very important. And you neglected to go to the doctor, and then when you feeling something is not right, sometimes it's too late. It's too late then, then you have done wrong to yourself. You have not helped yourself out, and not only you are putting yourself in danger, but also putting your family also. And if you're a parent, then your your family is also suffering. If you have kids and something, if you were diagnosed with cancer, with prostate cancer, stage 4 cancer, let's say, for instance, because the doctors just tell you, they just tell you this is it. And let's say, yeah, you were diagnosed with prostate cancer. If you're a male, then the disease progresses until it's fatal. And then what? Then you have then you, because of a neglect, and the same thing goes for a woman, for a female. Uterine cancer is a big thing, because lack of or neglect of going to your gynecologist and have you checked yearly. Uterine cancer is not something to to take lightly. Uterine cancer, I've seen so many patients with uterine cancer, and it's bad. It's not really good. Breast cancer, for instance, also. My sister died of breast cancer, and it was a really sad thing. And she did go to the doctor. She did go to the doctor and have, checked, and went into remission, and then it came back. And I think when it came back, she was not aware of it. And it was really a bad thing, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer the second time. It was very sad, very sad. We lost her. She died. I mean, I was with her. I was with my sister when she died of breast cancer, and it was a sad thing. She died in my arms, and as a nurse, it's not the first time that I had a patient or someone died in my arms. It's something that I had experienced all the time. And when it's a relative, I mean, a lot of my patients died, and I experienced many patients died, either on the way to emergency, when I had to take them to emergency, or when they died and I took them to to the morgue. Um, it's a you feel sad, A death is when you experience death, it's very sad, And then you experience death when it's somebody close to you, a family member, and it's always painful, It's a painful thing. So it's not, So going back to say that it's very interesting that a lot of people do not want to. They want to put everything, they want to procrastinate things, put on the side, But procrastination is not something when it deals with your own body, and you want to know where you're standing. Your health it's easy. Make an appointment with your doctors, and if you have kids and you're taking care of kids, try to find somebody to help you, and so you can take care of yourself. And go see your doctor for physical, and always go to a medical, your GP, your general practitioner, to check you out. See that you're doing the right thing for yourself. So yes, it's not. I mean, a lot of people do not want to hear. Don't want to hear that. But when you live your life like that, with not with neglect, about not trying to take care of yourself, of your problems, then when you go to the doctor, and he checks you about something that, let's say for instance, something has been bothering you and you have neglected not to take care of it, and when you go to the doctor, he checks you, and then he checks you for something else, and then he finds something wrong, and then what? Then you shock. You shock, and you say to yourself, if I had done this, if I had listened, and and gone to the doctor before, I wouldn't be in this situation. So there again, I urge you that it's very important to take care of your health issues, whether you have something or don't have something. It's very important to go to your doctor, and trust your doctor. Your doctor was trained. Look, there's a bee, there's a bee in my backyard. I have so many flowers that they eating the nectar. So anyway, yeah. So you want me to say it bee? Oh, hi, bee. You want me to say don't, no, don't go to the doctor. You can just check on YouTube. You be a YouTube MD and check out for symptoms, and YouTube will tell you what to do. Because either it's bad if you don't have medical insurance, and then when you don't have medical insurance and you have to go to a doctor, it costs you money that maybe you don't have, and nowadays everything is so goddamn expensive. The groceries are fucking expensive, excuse my language, but it's true. You can't, $100 doesn't buy you shit anymore. It's so never mind going to the doctor. The doctor, it's expensive. It's a visit maybe easily $300, maybe. I don't know, maybe more. And what if you are diagnosed with something really bad? Then you're in for something, and if you don't have medical insurance, so it's good to good that you should program your life, and if you're young and don't have medical insurance, try seek ways to get medical insurance. See how you can program that into your life, financial into your life, finance it. Check how to get medical insurance, because without it, it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to go to the doctor. And how about medications? Medications are not cheap. Medications are very expensive. If you even if you get a cold, it's not easy. It's not cheap. So yes, um, check for medical insurance. Check what does medical insurance cost you if you don't have any. If you're young, and I recommend you that find ways to get medical insurance. There's many ways that you can find out, and then try then to also make doctor's appointments, for your kids. You make sure that your kids get vaccinated too. If you are married or a parent, make sure your kids get their vaccines. Get them measles vaccines. Measles, mumps. I think they're and diphtheria. I think it's one shot, one vaccine that will protect you against it. So don't be a smart ass. Don't be a smart ass and say, oh, I don't, my kids don't need vaccines. They could be, if that I protect, I don't believe in it. But I don't understand. If you don't believe in vaccines, but you were vaccinated before, your parents protected you against all diseases by vaccinating you, and you now don't want to vaccinate your kids. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. Kids are dying of measles. How is that? How are we allowing to have our kids die of measles, man, when that shit was eradicated? Figure that one out. I don't get it. Just because a parent doesn't want the kids vaccinated, because all of a sudden they don't believe in vaccines? Explain it to me. Type it and explain it to me. Why is that? Why is it that you do not believe in that? um, it just doesn't. It's like trying. It's like people nowadays, they think they know it all. You know what I mean? But no, how could you know it all? I mean, it takes training it gets training to do everything, even to ride a bicycle. It's training. You know what I mean? You gotta train how to ride a bicycle. You just cannot get on a bicycle, teach a kid uh, to ride on a bicycle and go. No, you have to train that young kid to get on a bicycle and and let it go, so he can. The same thing with other things, other things in life. To become a motorist, you have to learn how to how to drive a car, right? You cannot just get in the car if you don't know how to drive. You think you're gonna just go, right? You have to learn. You have to read a book and learn the laws of how to how to drive the car. What are the laws? Motor vehicles will book will tell you that before you become a motorist or a driver. So we depend on training on population, like doctors, scientists. They are trained. A plane, for instance, you cannot just fly a plane. It takes training, right? To become a pilot and fly an airplane, right? And you feel safe if you go to a different country and you have to travel, and a certified pilot is on driving the plane, right? So I don't understand is it that people nowadays do not believe their doctors when it comes to vaccines. I really don't get that. I don't get that. I don't when these doctors are trained, these scientists are trained. They study. They were trained. That's their bread and butter. They have a big knowledge. We have to, we have to trust our scientists, our doctors. They know better than the lay person. I mean, a lot of people believe in YouTube for everything, anything, for YouTube MD medical. Everybody thinks that the YouTube medical doctor can tell you everything. No, you have to trust your doctor. You have to trust your medical doctor, your scientist. They know their shit. They know what's going on. You know what I mean? We don't know. We depend on the knowledge of other people. So that's what I'm talking about. Uh, try to really earn the trust of your medical doctor, your scientist. These vaccines are very important, because we as the lay person don't know shit about it, don't know anything. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we a lot of people do not do. They procrastinate, or they put it aside to go to the doctors and find out how they're doing. How the blood chemistry is doing. You could have cancer and not know it, because you don't go to your doctor, because you put it aside. Um, but you have to trust your doctors. You have to trust the doctors, because life is precious, man. I mean, I'm enjoy talking to you guys. Enjoy every morning that I get up. It's a privilege to get up every morning. It's a God's honor that gives you that, to get up in the morning every day and enjoy this wonderful earth life, to be able to talk and that's my husband checking me out. um, anyway, that's my husband checking me out. But it's true. Going back to trusting our medical teams. As a nurse, I have experienced many things in life, and I was honored and privileged to help others, and I loved giving have given God gave me that gift, that I was able to help others. That's my air conditioner motor, to make people comfort people. You know what I mean? To comfort them at their deathbed. It was my honor and my privilege to help others. I find it very rewarding. I find it very rewarding as a nurse to help others. I could say that in Spanish also. Para mí fue un privilegio ayudar a otros pacientes. To me, it was a privilege to help other patients throughout my life, and experience them dying in my arms, and they didn't have any other person but me to help them out. There's no family. Sharon, hi, how are you? You were up talking about, oh my, I know, I'm talking about, being a nurse, how being a nurse how impacted my life. I helped so many people, and to me it was an honor, a God's honor, to help the dying one in my arms. Many times I experienced that, and it's something that I didn't take for granted. I worked during the pandemic. It was a hard thing. I cried every day that I came home, because I experienced death so much every day. Everybody, there was so much people dying during the pandemic in my hospital. It was gut-wrenching. It was so hard. I live very close to the hospital, so I would walk every afternoon. I would walk, and I would think, about the people that died. It was sad. It was a bad, but also to know that I helped them to die with dignity. And like I said, you know what? We, the nurses, we are the ones that the patients see all the time, not the family. It's us nurses that do help. you know. And anyway, so yeah, it's sorry, I gotta put my reading glasses. Yeah, you know what? I was just talking to somebody before from South Africa. He was telling me that the insurance cost $800 a month, and he has 3 kids. But at least, I mean, he's educated well enough to know that he needs medical insurance because it's so expensive. Medical insurance is very expensive. You in the UK, it's over there they have national health insurance, right? It's very, it's nice. Something that you in England can what's the word? Enjoy. I mean, to have that is a privilege, really, is to have medical insurance. Over there in the UK is nationalized, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Over here, not everybody has medical insurance. Over here is really some people don't, but some people pay to go to the doctor, and it's very expensive. My daughter, every time she goes to the pediatrician, she pays her a copay. She has insurance, but there's a copay, meaning that you have to, as a member, you have to pay to the doctor. So she pays, like, I think it's $30, but she has 2 kids. So it's 60 when she takes the 2 of them. But then whatever the pay, the doctor gets reimbursed through the insurance, you know. But yeah, there is a copay. I have a copay. My copay is $10 if I go to my GP, I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay a copay, or I don't have to give him $10. But when I go to a specialist, yes, I do pay. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. But uh, I know. I loved being a nurse. Nurse is being one of my. I lived and experienced so many facets of nursing, that I saw patients take off, going back discharged, and they were ready to their potentiality, health, and they went back home all better than when they came in. And that is a reward, that you help nurture this patient to be able to walk out of the hospital and in high function from when he came in. And there are times that that didn't come with it. So you take the scale. This they went, and this they didn't, and you make them comfortable, and help them to the end. That's being a nurse. A nurse, it's a profession that you are born with the gift of not only helping, but going beyond your. I would my shift was 7 to 3, and I never left work at 3 o'clock. The I would leave sometimes 5:30, 2 hours more. But I lived close to but it was like I was like, it was not enough. What I mean? Like, there was always some other holes to cover. There was patients that needed this, and sometimes the patient will say, "You think you can give me a bed, before you leave?" So that takes time. I said, "Oh, sure, no problem." You know. I would say, well, if I get home late, then I'll just buy pizza or whatever. So I would always think of something, some other strategy. So I would do it. You know what I mean? But yes, nursing is not for everyone. Nursing is something that it, you go and study and become one, and you do the vows, and also you have to give your heart You go in with your mind, soul, and body to help, to help those that need you. Because like I said, the patients do not have the family. They don't. The families are not going to take care of them. It's the nurse that's going to be there for them. You know. So there were times that I wouldn't even call. I wouldn't even dare call in sick. Because I would think, no, so and so, would expect me to be there tomorrow, and if there's somebody else, they would not be happy. If there's somebody else that's gonna cover for me if I call in sick, it's not gonna be a nice thing. So I would always think about that, and it would make me get up, with a headache or whatever. But I would be there for them, and that you can take, you take to your heart bank, and like I said, there's no money that can pay that feeling of being able to help, um, your patients. Your patients are your number one all the time, So I always thought that way. My patient is the one, and always treat the patient as if you are the mirror. In other words, treat the patient as that is you. Like he's a mirror, and you're looking at yourself. That's how I always dealt with it with the patient. I always made believe he was my mirror. That was me. I was going to take care of. And if he got angry, I would look at him or her, and I would say, that's me. I have to listen to him or her and try to make him feel comfortable and calm down. So yes, that's how it went. But whenever you see a nurse, that if you ever go to the hospital and see a nurse, please see that like an angel for you, because that lady is going to be taking care of you, and there's no doctor that will give you the care. It will be the nurse. So anyway, with that note, guys, I will leave you. I will leave you, and we'll talk some other day. It was a pleasure talking to you guys, and whoever's behind the scene, and I want to say hello. I just want to thank you again. My name is Juliana. I want to thank you so much for you guys having hang out and be able to stick with me. And maybe tomorrow I'll come out again and do a live, and we'll talk. So good night, my little Sharon. Give a kiss to Bernie. Enjoy him, and I hope I'll text you tonight. I'll text you a little thing, and enjoy him, man. Enjoy him, because I miss my Sammy so much. So have a good night, darling. Enjoy, and whoever's hanging behind the scenes, guys, it was great having had a little chat with you guys about everything. We went from vaccines, doctors, songs, music, everything. There's always something good to talk about. So, okay, my darling, you take it easy, and good night, everybody. I'll see you some other time.